Sucker punch. Trump just did the one thing every nation on earth didn't want him to do. President Trump has decided to withdraw the United States from the International Climate Accord of the Paris Agreement. European allies have been begging Trump to not ditch the past last week, but the White House responded that they were deciding Trump is doing exactly what he promised. Take a look at what he said about this on December 6th.
Going to cancel the Paris Climate Agreement and stop. Unbelievable. And stop all payments of the United States tax dollars to UN global warming programs. President Obama entered the United States into the Paris Climate Accords unilaterally and without the permission of Congress. This agreement gives foreign bureaucrats control over how much our energy and how much we use right here in America.
Right?
So foreign bureaucrats are going to be controlling what we're using and what we're doing on our land in our country.
Right?
No way.
Absolutely.
No way.
You know what it would cost
American
us?
energy dominance will be declared a strategic, economic, and foreign policy goal of the United States. It's about time.
Absolutely.
America has 1.5 times as much oil as the combined proven resource, listen to this, as the combined proven resources of all OPEC countries. Think of that. We have more natural gas than Russia, Iran, Qatar, Saudi Arabia combined.
Right.
We have 3 times more coal than Russia. Our total untapped oil and gas reserves on federal lands equal an estimated $50 trillion.
And that's why Obama gave the land, like to call it a monument, so we wouldn't be able to get access to this these sources of energy. And Hillary Clinton also sold 20% of our uranium to the Russians.
Think of that. We're loaded. We didn't even know it. We're loaded.
Right? Absolutely.
We had no idea how rich we were.
That's right. That's right. Here's why this matters. This is the biggest thing that he could do to screw up Obama's legacy. It shows the rest of the world that nothing that Obama did mattered. Here's why it happened. According to Axios, a letter was sent by 22 Republican senators with Mitch McConnell that asked for a clean exit with the Paris Accords. Trump has been working with confidants, saying his instinct was to pull out. Here is what Trump said about it today. I will be announcing my decision on the Paris Accord over the next few days. Make America great again. It is exactly what he promised he would do. It's not shocking. Here is what Fox News is saying about this.
Source that the President Trump is pulling out of the Paris climate change deal. Stuart Varney joins us from the Business Channel to tell us what this means for you and your family.
Well, first of all, it's an unequal treaty. It's not a treaty. It's an unequal agreement. For example, China doesn't have to do anything about its emissions until the year 2030. It can pollute up the wazoo until then, and then it's pledged to try to reduce its emissions. Meanwhile, we in America, we've got to cut our emissions even more, according to President Obama, by the year 2025. It's unequal.
You've called it almost anti-Western.
It is
an international
regulatory scheme. You take money and resources off Europe and America, and you give it to other countries. For example, in the year 2020, under the Paris Accord, President Obama has agreed to supply part of a $100 billion payment every year from Europe and America going to other countries to ameliorate the effects of global warming. $100 billion a year, and we're on the hook for part of that.
And yet there are those in his administration that don't support the pulling out of the Paris Climate Accords. Even his own daughter, Ivanka Trump, Rex Tillerson, the current CEO of ExxonMobil, saying we can be a part of the Paris Climate Accords, but also dismantle the Obama-era climate regulations. So he's got a good pushback from some people in his
He will get pushback. I mean, look, outside the argument as to whether or not the planet is warming, outside that argument, you've got a diplomatic argument as well. Do we mortally offend Germany, for example, by pulling out of this Paris Accord?
With climate change.
They are obsessed. It's a state religion in Germany. The climate is changing. It's a state religion. We upset them vigorously if we pull out of the Paris Accord. And of course, there are people.
You mean Merkel, not the people. I'm more than sure the people are not agreeing to this except a couple of freak liberals.
Who in good faith believe that the climate is changing, that we must control that, and we must reduce carbon emissions.
We're going into a freeze, not global warming. That's why they switched the narrative as the climate change. Before it was global warming, but the facts are that we're going into a mini ice age now. And that's why they changed it to the climate change instead of global warming. This is a hoax, just to charge us. And also, President Obama had said, like, why are we Americans, we have air conditioners, and we shouldn't have air conditioners. This whole thing is to turn us into a third world country. That's the whole point of this. And Trump ran on this platform that he was going to take us out of the climate change agreement. And it sure shows like he's going to. God bless America.
That's a good faith argument. So they say, don't pull out of the Paris Accord. But it appears, according to John Roberts, we're going to pull out.
The argument would be you could do that through good conservation and being a good steward without an international scheme that globalists devised to pull away our sovereignty and make decisions ourselves as a country.
If everybody did what they're supposed to do under the terms of the Paris Accord, we meet all of the agreements which we've made, it would reduce the temperature of the planet by a fraction of 1 degree by the end of this century. Is it worth it?
No.
Some people say no, others say yes, it is worth it. That is the argument. But John Roberts says we're out of that Paris Accord. Remarkable stuff.
All right, Stuart Varney, I'm sure you'll be talking about that a little bit today in your program then.
Here and there.
Go rewrite your show.
I'm going to rewrite the show.
Just the whole show plan. You're going to tear the whole thing down.
Don't do that.
We're still waiting on that second source, but he does have one source that is telling him that. So.
Okay, we got it. Thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
And if you go to the channel Adapt 2030, he goes into it. We're not going into a warming period. What the scientists quote, that 1% that we're going to reduce, is it worth it? No, we're going into a global mini ice age. Check out that channel, Adapt 2030. Get this out there. Are you proud of Trump and him actually following through on his promises? Then share this post and comment, I love my president, below. Let's see how many Trump supporters there are out there. Every nation in the world is about to go against him. He needs the American people in his corner. Absolutely, because they are fighting him. Even his daughter Ivanka is going towards the Paris climate change. But why? Because they're brainwashed, these people. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you again for watching.